Hey guys, so let's talk about an accounting and bookkeeping marketing just secret. And really why Upwork makes it hard for you to win long term. Now, what we're basically talking about is a little bit mixture of marketing as well as pricing as well as sales inside this video because they're all very interconnected. And if you don't have a good grasp on any one of the three, it's going to cause you to have your business struggling. Now, I just started talking to this one lady, and she just joined the program about 2 to 3 minutes ago. And I just want to come to you because I was super excited to just tell you about like why she joined and why I was so confident that I could help her out. Now, number one, okay, if you are looking for some help and you're tired of trying to figure out how to grow your accounting, your bookkeeping business by yourself, go ahead and click on the link either above or below the video to book a call with me. And on that call, we're basically going to do three things. We're going to say like, what is the actual picture of your business and your life? Next, we're going to say, okay, so this is kind of where you have now, but where do you actually want to be? What does that look like for you? Is it a certain amount of time you want to be working? Is it a certain amount of time you don't want to be working? Are there boundaries or different things that you want, like to be able to spend time with your children? Is it that you want to be able to go on more vacations and have more time to just relax and do nothing if you don't want to? And then once we have a picture of both of those things, we can combine those two together. We can make a process of, hey, this is why you're kind of at the place that you're at now, and this is what needs to change in order for you to be able to go and reach the goal that you said that you just said you wanted. Once we have that, smooth sailing. Then if it makes sense and you want to get started, we can get started on board you right then and there. If it's not good timing, that's okay too. You always have access to these free videos that give so much value for you to be able to start making money, even if we're not quite working together because the time isn't right. But if there's you, I'll see you on the call. Now back to what we are saying. Okay, so Upwork can be really, really challenging for a lot of people. Now, Upwork is good if you're trying to get like your first like maybe 1 to 2 clients, but after a certain period of time, it starts really capping you off. Another example is on one of my students named John. He just got started about a week ago too. And whenever I see someone who's doing Upwork, I can always basically guarantee or kind of guesstimate what the revenue is. It's generally between about like 1,000 to about $4,000 per month. And you're charging hourly. Sometimes you're charging anywhere between like 20 to like $35 an hour. And it's always like less than what you know you should or could be charging. But for whatever reason, it's like every single one of the clients just are kind of lowballing you. And the reason why is because oftentimes it can be hard for you, especially when you're starting out, to really stand out on Upwork. If your sales skills are really strong and you know how to bump up the price based on you maybe give a proposal and it's like really low on the proposal, but then you get on the call and you know how to like actually raise that value and get them to pay you more, then Upwork can be an okay place. I still don't recommend it, but it can be an okay place for you to make money. Now, if instead you want to be able to give me instead, if you wanted to go just straight and just start getting clients an easier way where you can charge higher prices without them having so much like price sensitivity and price like just friction whenever you try and raise your prices, then this path is a little bit easier. So, number one, I love using social media with a hint of email marketing. Now, what I mean by that is social media is really great for you to be able to identify exactly who you want to be talking to. And then once you start going and making those friendships, you can use emails to do more of a hard slash direct call to action. Now, on social media, one thing that most people struggle with is they're trying to either do no selling on social media or they only do selling on social media. And what that looks like is they have like a million different conversations with like business owners and they never really ask the person if they want help. And it's just kind of like you're kind of waiting for them to actually ask you if you can help them with their accounting and bookkeeping. But then on the other hand, there are people who all they do is friend request and do you want my help? Friend request. Do you want to pay me? Friend request. Do you want that? And it can get really annoying. It's either you have no teeth or you have too much teeth, and it's just not a good fit both ways. So you actually need to be able to meet inside of the middle. Now, regardless of what platform you use, whether you use Twitter, Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, Instagram, all of them work. Okay, let's just get that out of the way. Every single social media platform works if you know how to work that social media platform. For me, I personally love LinkedIn as my number one, Instagram is my number two. Okay, I like LinkedIn because it's very, very easy for you to get into a business conversation without you having to worry about like doing all the fluff, like how's the weather, or talking about like just stuff that isn't really necessary for you to move the business forward. It allows you to be able to just talk straight to business, and then you can build a relationship around different aspects of their business and how their business is doing. So you can place that container around them and their business. You're building a relationship with them as a business owner, not necessarily just them as a person. Now, the reason why this is important is because once they start trusting you as like that kind of trusted advisor or person they can start bragging to, or person who they can start really telling their pains and their problems to, then you know you have like a wide open invitation for to ask them on a consultation call. Now, once you're on that consultation call, that's when you can do a little bit more about like personal one-to-one, like learning about their family, learning about where they went to school, learning about what their drivers, what their motivations are. And at that point, those personal connections, those personal like relationship steps are going to allow you to raise the price once you're on the call. Okay. Now, a good example of this was actually I have three examples. So JT. So when JT was first getting started, he's a CPA, and he was only able to charge like $30 an hour on Upwork. And like the clients that he was getting, like they only needed like what, maybe like 10 hours of work per month. So he only charged like $300 a month. And it was just terrible, right? Because a lot of people like if even if they're not a CPA, they think like CPAs can just charge whatever they want and charge outside the wazoo just because they have the CPA title. In a lot of cases, it's actually not like that. No matter who you are, if you don't know how to sell high value or high dollar work, it doesn't matter what certification you get, what letters you have behind your name, it just doesn't work. And I'm sorry to say that, and some people might not like that. Some people might think that, like, right, that's blasphemy, right? I just after working with about 100, sorry, I'm trying to protect my eyes, but after working with about 100 students, I mean, I don't know what to tell you. That's what we see, and that's just from my experience. That's just what it was. When I didn't know how to sell the work for my accounting and bookkeeping firm, then I couldn't. It didn't matter if I charged $10 an hour or $1,000 an hour. I just couldn't sell it. Once I learned how to do it, it didn't matter that I didn't have 50 years of experience. My business wasn't like 30 years old. I didn't have a website. It didn't. None of that stuff mattered. It was just you either know how to sell, or you either don't know how to sell, or you know how to sell. Now, one thing that can also make it easier is just social media. So when JT was going, we immediately had him go on both Facebook and LinkedIn. Now, for most people, I don't recommend you doing like Facebook because it is harder for you to be able to get bigger business owners on the phone. It's not that bigger business owners do not spend their time on Facebook. I'm not saying that. It's just harder to know who you're talking to and really identify who is going to be able to afford paying, $1,000 a month, $2,000 a month. Okay. Now, with him specifically, what we basically did was we were inside of different Facebook groups for his target markets. So he has a couple different target markets. He likes helping coaches. He likes helping nonprofits. He also likes helping. It was a third type. I can't exactly remember what it was. It was like a really like small kind of tertiary niche that was coming to him. And basically what that allowed him to do was he could just go inside these Facebook groups and do the same thing that you would do on LinkedIn. You just start building relationships, start adding value, start asking people's questions. And then once they start responding to you, you send them a friend request. And then from there, you start building that relationship over time. And the really big factor for there is time, because a lot of people get really discouraged if they don't get any clients within like the first like week of them being in business. But really the thing that's going to allow you to either succeed or to fail, I think my camera's broken. It keeps like getting this like weird glitch. The thing that's really going to cause you to either succeed or fail is how you can really relax yourself during time. Okay, because for me, I know when I first got started, like if I didn't see results right within like a week, I would panic. Like I would get super nervous, I would get angry, I would get grumpy, I would get irritable, and it was just like, why is this business not working? But now, as I get, more and more in my career, I'm not quite at seven figures. I will be in the next like either 2 years to 3 years. But in my six-figure journey, it's like I don't really think in day tight compartments or even week tight compartments. I think more about months. I think about 6 months. I think in some cases even a year, right? So I'll do stuff that doesn't necessarily make sense in the short run, but long term, it just keeps giving me more and more results. For example, like this YouTube channel, right? If this was probably like 3 years ago, I would never have done like YouTube because it doesn't have an immediate result, right? Oftentimes, all these videos do is just give you like a thinking shift that causes you to start making more money. And then as you start making more money, then you start attaching those good feelings to Bryce. And then eventually you end up paying me money and we get you even more results, right? But along the way, like that means that there is a little bit of a time lapse between when you start watching my videos and when you end up working with me. if you don't understand time, it's not going to be good because I mean, I had to film. I have, if you look at this channel, there's like about 150 videos on this channel, right? And 150 videos takes a long time to make that many videos. And most people can't do that. And I'm sorry, that was just a little side tangent, but that's just one thing. If you've been struggling, you like feel really frustrated that it's been about a week and you haven't made any sales or you haven't gotten to 10K a month yet. I'm just saying, like, it's normal for you not to be there in a week. It's just you have to make sure that by the end of the year, you're at 10K per month, which 99% of people in the world, probably 99.9% of people in the world don't get there because they can't understand time. They just don't know whether or not they're doing the right things that cause them to panic. Now, another example of someone using social media instead of Upwork was like Megan. So with Megan's variation of social media, it was a little bit different than JT's, right? Because Megan used mostly LinkedIn, but she didn't use LinkedIn like to go and connect with new people. She used LinkedIn to more connect with referral partners. So when she was on Upwork, like, it was really, really hard for her to charge a lot of money because it was always like, whenever she tried and bring up money, people be like, "Oh, yeah, sorry, we have other people that are willing to do it for lower. Can you do it for this much?" And when she was starting, she just wanted clients, so she would say yes, and she would just be trying to pick up clients, right? And that just caused her to be able to have like she had a lot of clients, but they weren't paying her that very much money. It was paying like anywhere between 100 to about maybe $500 per month. And it was just ridiculous. It was just like, oh my gosh, man, so much work. Or people would come to her and they would just want like a year end cleanup and then didn't want to do anything else for the rest of the year. So every single year she would have like 5 or 10 people come to her and they would do like this major cleanup, then never want to work with her again. So it always felt like just her time was just so like just crunched and it just wasn't working. So what we had to do is I was like, hey, so right now, since your time is so overwhelmed, what we're going to be doing is let's utilize LinkedIn to start giving you referral partners so you can start getting new clients coming in. You can fire all of those old bad ones that are taking all your time that are, not really getting money. And I'm saying, like, let me take a step back. So she had a bunch of clients, right? They were paying her no money. I said, let's get referral partners so that we can go and get more clients, but these clients are going to be higher level. Once you have these higher level clients in place, then you can remove the old clients and then we can keep building and building and building here. I just want to kind of clarify that so you don't think I just told her just like cut her business in half without proper steps. And that's how it works. So she got about 2 to 3 good referral partners. In the first week that we started working together, she had a referral partner give her a $4,500 a month client, and then like a $1,500 a month client came like the next week. It was from like one referral partner that was already in her network, but that partner was laying dormant because she didn't actually know that person was influential. So we have like this process whenever I'm working with you that just goes through and just discovers who are all the influential people that are inside of your existing network, how to activate them so that they start sending leads your way. And then once those leads come your way, there's a really good sales process that gets them to know, okay, so from referral, this person said that you're the best person. Okay, cool. Here's another thing I can learn about you. Here's another thing I can learn about you. Here's another thing I can learn about you. Then when they finally get on the phone with you, it's just like, dude, no matter what price you say, they're basically sold. Okay. And that's a really interesting thing I didn't even think about talking about. But with social media, the reason why it's so much more powerful than Upwork is because if you can really structure everything correctly, by the time the person gets on the phone with you, they're pretty much sold as long as it's within like a certain range. Like if your marketing's good, your branding's good, your content is good, your conversation is good, you come across as a very strong person, oftentimes they're going to have a certain amount of like money that they're willing to pay you per month. And every single time, if your sales call sucks, then that range goes lower and lower and lower. But as long as you're that person who they think that you are, then on the sales consultation, you can charge at this higher range and they're still going to pay you because it's like this respect range. Okay. And that's why I love social media, because oftentimes like people are like, wow, Bryce, why are your clients closing between 50 to 80% of the people they speak to? I'm like, it's because we already have them sold. It's just a matter of like, when do they want to pay you the money? And it makes everything so much easier. And that's how you can grow your business and you can really utilize time. So hopefully this video has been really helpful and it's kind of just shifted your perspective. Now, if you're watching this and you kind of resonating with some of the things, maybe you're in this position where you've been using Upwork, you have a lot of clients, they're not really giving you any money. Go ahead and click on the link inside the description to book a call with me. Okay, on the call, we have to go and look at 3 things. Like, where are you at right now? What is the kind of tornado situation you're in? Where's the storm? Let's get to the eye of the storm. Let's really understand what we're dealing with. After that, I'll be like, hey, where do you actually want to be? What does this business look like in 1 year when you've actually reached your goal? And then once we've done that, we're just gonna say, hey, this is what you got to do. This is how I'm gonna help you out. Is this something you want to do together? If it's something you want to do together, we can work together and I can onboard you right then and there. If it's not, if you don't know if it's the right time or for whatever reason, there's no pressure for you to make a decision. And then we can just part as friends. You can keep watching the video. And when it's time for you to when the time is different and maybe your perspective has shifted, then we can start working together. Okay. But at the very least, you're going to have a game plan and know exactly what you need to do in order to move your life and your business forward. If that's you, I'll see you on the call. If it's not quite the right time for you to book a call yet, I'll see you inside the next video. Talk to you soon. Take it easy.